No, at the moment we've been areas within the set where we can improvise, and we've been coming out with some astonishing stuff each night. You know, different. It'll be a different plot each night, and from there's quite a possibility that we could actually have some ideas there that we could turn into new songs and new material. In fact, as far as writing on the road, is in the way that you probably think, you know, maybe it's sound checks or whatever, we really haven't had the time, to be honest with you. But it's better, in fact, having this sort of vehicle that we have, and the imagination that we have collectively, to be able to improvise, and you know, that's really what it's all about, really, isn't it?
Yeah, and the answer to the first part of the question is pardon. Not pardon, no. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, we have done. Hossam's troupe have modified some other songs, and there are only a certain amount of songs that really lend themselves to a sort of arabesque treatment. It's very difficult to do Black Dog with you know, that sort of treatment, but it has the whole idea of the troupe combining all together has, you know, it's opened up quite a lot.
Yeah, as far as yeah, there was some reference to other numbers that we looked at other numbers, right? Well, the thing is, we've got such a massive set list since we could play for almost like I don't know, 6 hours or something with the amount of numbers that we've got and we've incorporated into the set.
How long is the set? How long on average?
2 hours. Mm. I mean, we have to say that, I mean, we've been in Japan for a while, and we've been sound checking a lot and routining songs that we didn't touch for the first 100 shows. So, I mean, that's quite an encourageable sign. It means that we're certainly not, you know, we're not toured out or anything like that. We're well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, any ones we feel like. Sometimes using the traditional Western-style orchestra, and sometimes Hossam and the guys have helped us out on other songs. So it's, I mean, it's a whole parade, really, of options that we've got, far beyond what was on the TV and on that CD. That CD seems so long ago now, and Jimmy and I were talking the other day, and Hossam would agree that it was such a tentative time, because we had one run through and then we started filming it, the studio stuff. So we were really flying on the seat of our pants a lot, weren't we?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You know, I mean, it's and it was very tentative. I think it was quite scary, because we knew if we didn't get it right, well, we wouldn't have got it right, you know. But now we've expanded it and it's much more relaxed, and it has quite a few moments where it gets really dramatic and climatic. So, I mean, from that period, from that time when that No Quarter came out to now, is a long, long time ago.
We got invited to go around the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and I was quite amused to see one of my stage suits on it, which I'd lent to the Victoria and Albert Museum in London, which they actually confiscated at the end of the day. And they put that in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I was quite amused to see that I'd now shrunk to 5'4" instead of 6 foot, which I thought was quite funny.
It's because the display cabinet was only 5'6". I mean, the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I mean, I guess really we're all, well, they're musicians and I'm a singer, and I think we really love the history of where our music came from, and especially because we lent so much on the blues from, you know, from Mississippi Delta or Chicago, or rockabilly from Memphis or wherever it was. So the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame historically has something to offer us, but when you talk about our position in it and contributing stuff to it, and people wondering by with their big liter things of Diet Coke staring at our stage gear, I don't think that's relevant at all. But the film that you can see of the early days of Beale Street or in Memphis or whatever it is fascinating. That's a very interesting question. I mean, how the hell do I know? I still stand in front of a mirror and go, ooh yeah, Because I know that one day I'll get it right, but I don't know who's doing what, really.
Okay.
What are you expecting from Australian audiences after such a long time between gigs?
I haven't got a slightest idea. I mean, we just go and play, and if there's somebody there, that's great. If there's not, we just play. I hope it's a communion of emotion and passion and exuberance. I hope it's just a communion, because that's how it works best.
This one's more towards Jimmy. I saw Led Zeppelin in Frankfurt in 1980, 1981, and it was a great concert. Very rowdy, it was very noisy, and Jimmy Page was doing a guitar solo, and halfway through he asked the audience to try and keep the noise down a bit. It was a bit hard to concentrate. And then he continued on, and it was fantastic. But the question is, do you get that sort of thing happening these days? I know the whole thing's changed a lot, but do you get that sort of thing with the crowd being so noisy that it's very hard to concentrate? And do you remember that time? I do.
No, I don't remember that. I don't remember very much of that 1982 actually at all. But however, you know, actually, as a rule, for instance, say in the States, yeah, I might as well just relate to the States here as far as the audiences go, because we've done a lot of touring there over the last year. It's been very, very enthusiastic, but very attentive as well. To take the enthusiasm even further, then you have to start relating to South America, where they're just going wild, but still listening.
Well, I never really had a problem with it, but they weren't really sampling me. But I don't know. In retrospect, I suppose after a while it gets a bit tedious, and you want to get, you feel a little bit of revenge bubbling somewhere. But it's the actual taking of riffs. I think there was a track by Michael Jackson called Bad, which was so close to the Heartbreaker riff. And we left it for ages and ages and never even bothered about it. And then you realise that the people are taking the piss a little bit, because it's... But then again, we're not completely devoid of the odd thievery ourselves. And neither shall we be in the future.